Welcome to the DOPScast, the show in which we delve into strategies for smarter, data-driven management. I'm your host, Mike Cameron, and today we're sitting down with our Chief Revenue Officer for DealerOps, Mark Begley, to discuss a topic that's near and dear to his heart: how managers can get the right performance metrics quickly to proactively manage time, performance, and people. So let's start with the truth most of us have unfortunately learned the hard way. If you're waiting for month-end reports to understand the problem, you're already too late. We've seen this across every rooftop. Used car inventories run too high, service hours fall short, front-end gross begins to slide, but by the time leadership catches it, the damage is already done. Then you're stuck explaining why instead of recognizing the problem early enough to course correct. This type of rear view management is reactive, frustrating, and costly. Proactive management isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, with the right data, at the right time, in the right hands, and that is where DealerOps comes in. So let's welcome Mark Begley to the set of DealerOps, and let's dive right in. Mark, how are you?
Thanks, Mike, and you're absolutely right. All too often, we're waiting until the 10th of the month when the financial statement comes out to finally understand what happened in the previous month. And by that point, it's way too late. The opportunity to course correct is gone, and we're stuck explaining the damage instead of preventing it. DealerOps changes that by giving managers access to near real-time data, which drives communication and decision-making in the moment, as opposed to being so delayed. That means that you can spot and solve issues before they get out of hand. One of my favorite examples is our stack ranking report that's in our variable department. It's not just a who's on top today, but it gives the manager a 90-day rolling average and even shows how many number of days it's been since a salesperson sold their last vehicle. That simple data point is incredibly powerful if you think about it, because if a salesperson hasn't sold anything for a week to 10 days, it's a red flag. It allows managers to step in proactively and help that employee to get them back on track and possibly even prevent turnover in the dealership. Another example would be in fixed operations, where our performance report by advisors has been a game changer. It not only shows how many hours are being sold, but also the effective labor rate, which is how much those hours are being sold for. And this is where it gets really interesting. When you start to drill into the numbers, you look at the service operation code listing and you find out that it was the code or the job that was priced incorrectly. It wasn't a matter that the advisor charged too much or charged too little or discounted, whatever it was. And it's the job that's priced correctly that will get us the margins that we want. And that kind of insight can save a lot of wasted time, frustration, and lost revenue. At the end of the day, my goal when I was managing my stores wasn't just to figure out what was going wrong, but to discover what was going right and do a whole lot more of that. DealerOps helps you do exactly that by giving you a data-neutral view. We like to say, we don't make the news, we just report the news. And sometimes the news is good, sometimes the news is bad, but either way, with DealerOps, leaders will have the answers that they need right away instead of having to wait for them. The data is either there in real time or delivered passively right into their inbox. No one escapes the data, and that is a good thing.
Wow, Mark, that answer really brings out how DealerOps is much more than just a reporting tool. Can you talk about how DealerOps gets your team on the same page as the managers?
Sure, Mike. A few reports really stand out to me, not just because they look great, but because they actually change the way that dealers operate day to day. I already mentioned that stack ranking report and service performance report before, but I can name a few more, of course. First is the enterprise quick view, and this is what most dealers, general managers, controllers start their morning with. Gives you a real quick view and a clear snapshot of how each department is performing without needing to dig into the DMS. It can be delivered straight to their inbox, so whether they're in the store or on the go, you're up to speed instantly. The CIT with Bucket Report is a lifesaver for both accounting and sales. It doesn't show just contracts that have been through the office already, but it also shows the deals that are still hanging out in the sales department or the F&I department. And those are the dangerous ones, because if a floor plan auditor walked in unannounced, of course, then those would be the ones that got us in hot water, because no one knew to pay those off because no one knew they were delivered. DealerOps does make those deals visible to you. Then there's the deal tracker. And it's more than just a report. It's a workflow built directly into the DealerOps platform that helps accelerate the booking of deals so that you can collect the money faster. And that will obviously impact the cash position of the dealership. It helps to keep everyone accountable for where the deal is in the process. And that process also feeds into the deal efficiency report, which details performance by the brand and the producer. It shows how long it takes to be for the F&I manager or the desking process to deliver, book, finalize, and ultimately fund a deal, giving you a roadmap for tightening up that process, reducing expenses, and also eliminating exposure to any audits. One that I personally love is the vendor report. This enables leaders a clear insight to every expense in their department and who is receiving the money. It starts by showing your entire organization spend grouped together by expense category, and then you can drill into each of those categories like advertising or outside services or some of those other ones that escape our attention every now and then, and you get to see that category broken down by the individual store over a 13-month range. Finally, you can drill into that store to see each vendor and how much was paid to that vendor over the last 13 months. You can even narrow it down by department if you would like. What an incredible way to isolate some problems. Accounting doesn't have to chase down this information for us anymore, and department leaders can access it themselves and make faster, better decisions. And finally, the Open RO report has become a daily necessity for many of our service managers. It gives you full transparency into every open repair order and how much is owed on it, what the costs are, what the labor is, who the technician is, what parts are involved. You can even add notes and communicate within the tool so it becomes a shared workspace between fixed operations and accounting. That kind of collaboration keeps things moving within the organization. All of these reports were built to empower leaders with actionable information, things that they can act on right now, not just a huge data dump. When you can see what's happening as it happens, you can lead more effectively and react more intelligently.
Well, Mark, this brings me to my last question, Halo. How does Halo expand on Core's ability to help you identify problems quickly?
Halo is the natural evolution of everything we built in Core, but with a sharper focus on visual storytelling. One of the biggest challenges dealers face isn't just accessing the data, it's knowing what to do with it and how to identify what actually matters right now. I always like to say that data without context is dangerous because the data is not what's important, it's what you do with that data. With Halo, we're surfacing those insights faster and more clearly. The redesigned dashboard isn't just better looking or more compelling, it's more actionable, meaning that you can scan it in seconds and instantly know where your attention is needed. Whether that's a department trending off pace, a manager whose productivity is slipping, or receivables that are possibly aging out, Halo brings those items to the front and center. We've also layered in some customizable KPIs so each user can tailor what they see based upon their role or priorities. For example, a general manager might want to see a high-level summary of front-end grows, CIT buckets, and maybe some used inventory levels, while a fixed operations director might want to concentrate on service hours, effective labor rate, and parts obsolescence. Halo makes that kind of clarity possible without needing to run multiple reports across multiple stores, export it out of your DMS, put it into a spreadsheet, compile it, and then get it out to everyone. DealerOps makes every DMS better and the data contained within them much more accessible. Another enhancement is the way Halo illustrates performance trends over time. Instead of just showing a number, it shows the trajectory. Is that number going up? Is it trending down? Or is it holding steady? That visual context is huge. And just like Core, Halo integrates seamlessly into the daily routines of the dealership, meaning that Halo fits into the way dealers do business as opposed to having to change processes to make Halo work for them. Whether that's through mobile-friendly access, scheduled email delivery, or team huddles, the data becomes part of the rhythm of the business. Everyone knows where the business stands at a glance, and that kind of clarity leads to faster, better, and more accurate decisions. And bottom line, Halo doesn't just show you the data. It highlights what's important and tells you where to focus next. It's not just reporting. It's data support for decisions. Remember, DealerOps is 3 tools in one: an executive reporting tool, a communication tool, and a powerful performance management tool. Taken together, these 3 tools unleash powerful results inside of your dealership.
At DealerOps, we're all about giving dealers the power to make faster, smarter decisions with real-time performance insights. If that's your jam, let's talk. What metrics move the needle most in your store? Drop it in the comments, or let us walk you through what's possible in a quick demo. Do you have a burning question you want us to tackle on our next podcast episode? Leave it below. If your question gets featured and you're following us on all the social media channels, you'll score an exclusive DealerOps swag bag. Follow us everywhere to be eligible, because you don't want to miss out. Until next time, keep leading with data, and as always, drive your day with purpose.